¡Hey! Qué show, banda! ¿Cómo están? Espero estén muy, pero muy bien. Hoy en Grupo Inframundo, en los artistas del Inframundo, tenemos a un invitado muy especial, que la verdad estoy súper emocionado. Es nada más y nada menos que el director de Mutilator y la nueva película que es la secuela de Mutilator. Así es, tenemos a Buddy Coooper y pues nada, banda, les recuerdo, por favor, prendan los subtítulos que están aquí abajo. Aquí abajo están los subtítulos, siempre me confundo y le hago arriba. Aquí abajo están los subtítulos para que no se lo pierdan y lo puedan checar en la comodidad de su casa. Ya saben, Grupo Inframundo, el mejor contenido de cine de horror para Latinoamérica. Hello, Bob. How are you doing?
Oh, well, thank you. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I'm really excited. I was making an incredible introduction of yourself, and also, well, the guys that are watching this are really excited to talk about Mutilator. So,
All right.
I think the first question it will be, uh, well, for the first film. First, we're going to start with the first film, and then we are going to go with the new stuff that is the sequel. So, in the first
Okay.
movie, we are really interested in which type of feelings did you wanted to the people that were watching the movie feel. There are some times that the filmmakers, as me, want to create some emotions when they are watching the movie, and I think this particular movie has a lot of stuff in the gore aspect, in the dark comedy, also by the incredible opening scene that I love it, in which they tell us this tragedy of how the main character, when he was a kid, killed his mother, and the spoiler alert if you haven't watched Mutilator, the dad wants to kill him and wants to destroy his life when he in a future. But then suddenly we start with this like happy music that you are like, oh my god, this what is going to happen, because this is so beautiful music, and it is like the Carpenters, like this kind of music, happy music, and then we start to watch gore, and we start to watch blood, and then we start to watch guts and everything. So what kind of feeling did you want that the people feel when they watch this awesome movie?
That's a hard question. The main thing I wanted everyone in the audience to feel was I wanted them to be entertained. I wanted them to have a good time, a good experience. Now, of course, the traveling music you're talking about in the opening scene, we wanted the people to feel bad because the boy shot his mother. But after that, when they were the young people drinking beer and driving to the beach, wanted everybody to feel good about it, relaxed and happy. And then later on, I wanted the audience to like the characters, wanted to like the characters and appreciate it, so that they would feel sad or bad when they got killed. And if you don't like the character, when they get killed, you don't care. It doesn't matter. And then, of course, I wanted them to be frightened and scared and ooh at the some of the deaths. And I think it worked for the most part. Now there's some comedy. We wanted some comedy too. There's a bit where Ralph speeds up, and that was supposed to make people laugh, and I think they did.
Yeah, I really love it. For me, it was it got. I think this movie has his moments. Comedy aspects, grotesque aspects in the killings, which is incredible if you are a slasher fan or horror fan, because I love the killings in the movies. I am a huge fan of having incredible killings, and I think this movie has incredible killings. So that is awesome. And also the start with the tragedy of the boy killing his mother. It is like, damn, what the hell is happening? And you feel sad. You are like, damn, that son of a bitch killed his mother. And yes, you put a little bit, you put kind of depressed. You feel like the father in that moment. For me, it's incredible. Also, well, in this moment that Mutilator comes to theaters and you finish the production, I want to ask you, this was a hype moment in the slashers. It was like the slasher era. I think there were a lot of huge slashers movies that everyone loves, and also that are cool classics. Uh, in the first moment, before you start to write the screen, they start to make the script and everything. how does this idea of the father and everything come to mind? How was this story developed? How did you get this inspiration?
I was the movie reviewer for the local paper for a few years during that era. So I got to see all of the horror movies. And there's kind of a motif that a handful of folks, usually young people, become isolated and subject to the attacks of a killer. I was walking on the beach here the day after Labor Day in '81 with a friend of mine. Labor Day is a big weekend. The beaches are packed with people, but the day after Labor Day, everybody goes home. We were walking on the beach and we could see a mile or more in each direction, and there were just no people there. And it occurred to me that that would be a nice place to isolate the young people for a slasher movie. It's also an island, so it'd be difficult to get on and off. The opening, though, with the I'm not sure where that came from. It was I don't remember where that came from. It just seemed like a good way to explain what's going to happen or to get it started. It kind of just happened. But then, since we were at the beach, it made sense to use nautical implements for all the kills, or most of them anyhow. Yeah.
Okay, no, I love it. In fact, yeah, that location is awesome. I love it, and also for me, it is like, I don't know, it is as scary as the Camp Crystal Lake, because you know this, you are, well, in Camp Crystal Lake you are in the woods and there is nobody there. There is nobody. I don't like, I this is a curious fact, I don't like the to sleep in the woods or stuff like that. For me that is scary as hell. But the thing is that in this location, which looks awesome for a vacation, family vacation, wow, when they start to killing and there's nobody, also it is like scary as fuck. So I think that is incredible. Also, I don't know if somebody has told you, but this movie has kind of for some viewers, they have some aspects of father issues. I don't know, I watched it and I was like, I got some father issues, so I was like, damn. I don't know. I remember a lot my problems with my dad, and with this movie, it was like the dad wants to kill the son. So for me, it was like cathartic. But the thing is that it is incredible. Also, I want to ask you this creative question. Which is your favorite killing that you think this killing
Man.
was awesome? I think it was the best killing that I got in Mutilator. And also, if you could tell us how did you make it, it will be incredible to know it.
I don't have a favorite killer. I like them all.
Awesome.
I can tell you how they were made. I can tell you a couple that didn't work. That we had Mark Shoston was special effects department head. He had some good help, and his idol was Dick Smith, and he was driving across from Los Angeles. He stopped somewhere along the way in the Midwest to say hello to Dick Smith, and Dick Smith gave him his personal recipe for movie blood. So we had good movie blood, and we used a lot of it. In fact, they started calling me Bloody Buddy during the movie. The cast and crew did. One gag that didn't work. Linda in the swimming pool was supposed to be floating on her back, and a spear from a spear gun was supposed to shoot out through her torso. The wing of the spear gun open and blood and snatch her back under the thing. And we were sitting, as a night shot. We were shooting at night, and it was late. It was getting on in the morning. Sunrise was near. We were sitting on the deck of the condo where it was shot, waiting for the special effects crew. The cameras and the lights were all set. Everybody was ready, waiting for the special effects crew. And finally, they came walking up and said, "We can't do it." "What do you mean we can't do it?" They said, "We can't make the special effect work." And we knew it's time. The sun's coming up. We got to shoot. We said, "Fuck it, we'll just drown her." And so that's how she came to be drowned in that scene. And it works well, I think, with the slow motion and the special score over there. It makes it work. And that was not planned. That was ad-lib right there on the spot. Got lucky with that one.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I mean, and even the drowning scene, I love it. So it worked. It was incredible. It was awesome. My favorite killing, I got to tell you. I love it. When they with the car crash, the dad, the killer, and it is in half of the body, and suddenly you think, well, this motherfucker is dead. This motherfucker is dead. I don't think nothing can do to survive. And suddenly, this guy grabs the police officer and he's like, oh my god, if I'm going to die, I'm going to grab this leg and got it. And it's like, and he dies. And he's like, what the hell, man? I love it. I love it because you don't imagine that this guy is going to survive with that. And even not just surviving, he's going to cut the leg of the officer. So for me, that was awesome. I love it. For me, that was an incredible killing, and it was a classic killer scene. Did you know, like classic killing killer scene? So that's awesome. Now here in Mexico, we haven't watched Mutilator 2. We haven't got the opportunity. So now I want to ask you a lot of Mutilator 2. What well, first of all, how did you begin with this idea of getting a sequel of Mutilator? When does this begin, and when does this have the green light in production? Because I know for a sequel for a lot of years, it is kind of interesting. How do you develop it? So how does it started, and how was your inspiration for the sequel?
Well, first, no one has seen it, other than a few private screenings and a couple of horror fests. We're searching for distribution now. We've got a couple of offers, and I'm talking to people, but it has not yet been released.
Okay.
When I say we, I mean the cast and crew from Mutilator the one. We all wanted to make the sequel. We were cracking jokes. Shooting the last day of shooting on Mutilator 1, we were coming up with ideas for Mutilator 2, but had a little trouble getting distribution on Mutilator 1. MPAA didn't like it after a really good opening in the Northeast, New York City, in that area. We couldn't get bookings because MPAA wouldn't give us a rating, wouldn't give us an X rating, which I refused. And we could get bookings. When we got bookings, we couldn't get advertising. And so we finally had to go back to the MPAA and cut it to an R to get booked. And it was not very good. If you've ever seen the R version, it's just not very good. But I knew, and a lot of people working on the Mutilator knew that there was going to be a sequel. We just didn't know when. After it was made, there were money problems. It took a while to make my money back. And I had family responsibilities. I was practicing law. One thing after another, kept putting it off and putting it off. I finally went to AFI, American Film Institute Film School in LA in '91. Stayed out there for a few years, and then came home. My father died, and my family asked me to take over the operation of the family business, which was the motel where the thing was shot in the fishing pier. That was 20 years ago, and finally just got to the point where either we're going to make it or we're going to quit thinking about it. We're not going to carry it. It's been long enough. And so I wrote the screenplay, and I wanted to invite some of the original cast to appear in the sequel. And it occurred to me that a good way to do that would be to have a film within a film. And the film within a film is the remake of The Mutilator. And there's a wrap party, the last day of shooting. And so some of the cast members of the original Mutilator have been invited to come to the party to celebrate. That's how we get them in the movie. And then it's just more gore after that. We like the characters. The acting in Mutilator 2 is really, really good. It's excellent. So is the cinematography. But some of the characters, you really like them. I do, and yeah. The acting's really good, and I can't wait for the whole world to see these people. They did such an excellent job. I want everybody to see it.
This is awesome. No, and now that you're telling me that there is more gore than the first one.
It's about equal.
Okay, it's good stuff. Also, yeah, that the movie inside the movie that was remarkable. I think that is awesome. I think that is really interesting. And also watching some old cast of the original, it is incredible. I think it is a good tribute also. And I don't know, I think it is a good formula of making a sequel because maybe someone will say if we make a sequel, maybe the dad is dead. So now how can it be done? So that is incredible. Also, how do you feel of making of having this evolution, because right now it is not the same making the movie on the 80s to making a movie on the 2000s 2020s. So how did you feel? Was the change, the experience, and also how do you feel of having right now a franchise that has evolved to the new audience, to a new context? How do you feel, and what do you think about it?
Well, I feel good about it. I like it. I did not anticipate it. It's welcome, pleasant event. I mean, occurrence happening, and it's popular. It's become I'm told that it's a cult classic, and I like that. And now we have, as you say, a franchise. I never even thought about it as a franchise. We got a movie, we got another movie. So yeah, that kind of counts. And I like it. I like it a lot. I forgot what the first part of your question was. What was the question?
Yeah, I mean the evolution of it, like how the difference of making a movie on the 80s and making a movie on these times. How do you think changes the experience in some stuff? I think it will be incredible in your experience. What did it change on the development and the production aspect, and then in the shootings and everything?
All of that there's not a lot of difference, but the shooting really different. We're talking about light passing through a lens and getting captured by some device. Aside from that basic thing, it's very different now than it was 40 years ago, shooting in 35 millimeter, big old heavy camera, big film cans, lots of people, but big heavy lights moving around. And now have a camera about this big with something you slip in there. And if you don't like it, you want to shoot again, a couple of clicks and it's over. There's no changing film every 10 minutes of screen. The lights are light, easy to move. Sound is about the same. The sound recording is about the same. Editing is tremendously different. Before we used Steenbeck's flat tables with spool reels of film up there that come through. If you want to see something, you cut it, literally cut it and tape it together and watch it. Don't like it, you have to undo that, cut it again and put it back together. It could take an hour to make a change. And now a couple of clicks get it done in a few seconds. And when it's done, we had, they're not here, they're in the other room, but I have the original negatives and they're 8 cans that weigh, the whole thing must weigh 50, 60, 70 pounds. And now you get it on a thumb drive, got a little hard drive here that's got it on it, it's a bit smaller than a deck of playing cards. So this technology has advanced for filmmaking as it has for everything else. And it makes a big, big difference. But basically, you're making a movie, man. It's the same.
That's awesome. No, that I think that's awesome. And something that also has involved are the practical effects and the digital effects. Well, I haven't, as I told you, I haven't watched a movie yet, people, yet. But in the deaths, stuff like that, did you make it direct to the practical effects such as the original? Did you make a balance of digital and practical effects, or how does it was?
No, they're practical. We didn't use any CGI.
Awesome, because we love in the horror industry, the best thing in the world are the practical effects. So for me, that is awesome. That, you know, guys, everyone that is watching this, and it is a big fan of Mutilator, there you got it. There is Gore, and there's practical effects, and an incredible story. So I am really excited to watch this. Finally, Cooper, I got a question. As I told you in the email, this is artists from the underworld, artistas del inframundo. And in Artists from the Underworld, what we try is to show the people, to inspire the people, to inspire the new creators of horror in products, services, filmmaking, literature, everything that has focus on horror aspect, to make their nightmares come true, you know, to develop their nightmares, you know. So in the filmmaking aspect, as an artist from the underworld, as you, the director, writer, what will be the advice for the next horror creators that are coming? For the next horror creators that want to make their nightmares come true in the screen, in the filmmaking, I think it will be incredible to have one advice from you. If you got to say just one advice, because I think you will say a lot of advices, but the best advice that you can give to the next generation of horror creators, what it will be?
Well, you're asking an awful lot there. I will offer a couple of opinions, and for what they're worth, that I don't hold myself out to be an expert by any means. I'm sort of reminded of something I think Alfred Hitchcock said. Suspense doesn't come from what's going to happen. The suspense comes from when is it going to happen. If you got somebody hiding behind a door with a knife, you know what's going to happen. You just don't know when that door is going to be open. So surprise is important. Make the audience like the characters. Make the characters real people. Don't just stick them up there and kill them. Develop their characters. Make them real people. Make them likable. Follow your instincts. If you have an idea, trust it. It's almost always right. Do it. I bumped into there's a guy named Billy Bob. What's Bob? Billy Bob. You know what I'm talking about? Billy Bob from Swing Blade. I met him in when I was living in LA, and we were talking. I told him I was trying to make a different movie at the time. It didn't work, and he had just made Swing Blade. That's what he did. He said, "Make it, get it made." That's the number one rule. Get it made. My number one rule is make it entertaining. So follow your instincts, make likable characters, fill it with surprise, and do it. Get it done.
Awesome. I think that is our incredible advices. And also you give so many good advices in screenwriting with the stuff of making the characters likable, making human, and then you do it. So you will, at the end you will be like, oh my God, now they killed this guy. Because if you don't make it likable, something like that, you will be like, kill it, it doesn't matter. But if
That's
you
right.
make that someone's feel bad for a killing, then you are doing a good job, because you are creating a good villain and also a good character that, makes you feel and also entertain. So that's incredible. Well, thank you, Bud. It was an incredible interview. Thank you, everyone, for watching this. Muchas gracias a todos. We will be waiting for Mutilator 2 when it comes to Mexico and other Latin American countries. We are really excited to watch this. And I am really excited. So thank you very much, Bud.
Muchas gracias, Santiago.
Well, people, come see the next interview. Follow our social media, our webpage, and remember, make your nightmares come true. Bye-bye.